Welcome to the Flight Levels. Today we're going to start a new series about instances where I screwed up. Most of these are pretty embarrassing and they were all preventable. Luckily, I've lived to tell the tale and I hope you can learn from my mistakes. Today we're going to talk about the time I inadvertently taxied straight off a runway in the dark. Let's get to it. If you're enjoying this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. It really helps me continue making great content like this. Just a few months after buying my Piper Warrior, there was an upcoming flight instructor conference down at the Denver Centennial airport. I looked at the morning rush hour traffic and thought, why drive when I could just fly? It was the perfect owner-operator move, or so I thought. In the days leading up to the event, my landing light stopped working. Being the studious pilot that I am, I know that the landing light is not required equipment unless being flown for hire and at night. So therefore, I followed the inoperative equipment procedures and made a note for my mechanic to take a look at it in the next couple days. The flight down to Centennial was great. Avoiding morning rush hour traffic was fantastic, and who doesn't like a random excuse to fly your airplane? The event included a dinner and evening social hour, and it ended well past sunset. But the fact that my landing light was inoperative didn't even cross my mind. I wasn't concerned at all. During my private pilot training, my instructor made me practice several night takeoffs and landings without the landing light. He emphasized that it's a bit of a safety blanket. If you use proper technique of using your peripheral vision, looking at the runway edge lights, your ability to judge your height above the ground is much more effective as opposed to staring straight in front of the airplane, looking at where the landing light is illuminating the concrete. After firing up the engine, I called ground control for taxi instructions. Let's take a look at where I was parked down at the southeast corner of the airport. Ground control instructed me to taxi to runway 28 via Delta, Delta 4, Charlie 4, Charlie, Charlie 5. I read back the instructions and began on my way. As I turned left onto Delta 4, I looked left and right down the runway to double check there was no traffic. As I was crossing runway 28, I suddenly felt the plane go BAM! Rumble, rumble, rumble. I was clearly no longer on smooth concrete. I had taxied straight off the runway into the grass. I decided to make a left 180 back onto the runway, then found my way to Charlie 4 and proceeded down Charlie. Man, I felt dumb. Who can tell me what psychological trap I fell victim to? That would be expectation bias. Before I even started rolling, I had already decided that taxiway Delta 4 continued straight across runway 28 onto taxiway Charlie 4. To my knowledge, I had never seen a taxiway do a zigzag across a runway like this. But it was right there on the taxiway diagram on my lap. I still agree the landing light is not essential while taking off or landing in your own airplane. However, the use of the landing light does make it much easier for other pilots to see you, whether day or night. I'm also certain that had my landing light been working, I would have been able to see the grass coming up across the runway in the dark. So, what are the lessons from this experience? The first one is to never assume your taxi route. Validate it by cross-checking your taxiway diagram. Look for strange quirks such as a taxiway zigzagging across a runway. The second lesson is that although it is perfectly legal to operate an aircraft at night without a landing light, I should have exercised more caution. I was so excited to fly my airplane to the event that the thought of canceling for the inoperative landing light didn't even cross my mind. I should have either departed back home before dark, or if I wanted to stay through the evening, then I should have driven. Thank you for watching. What do you think? How dumb was I to fly without an operating landing light? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next episode. Be sure to check out flight-levels.com and remember, don't just fly, climb to the flight levels. If you enjoyed this video, click here to see which is better, a sports car or an airplane. You're gonna love it.